Builders' supply shortages. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian Heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. I have my stein of coffee, and I thought we'd have a look at this article, because in ways it's a follow-on of the piece I read about this morning. This morning we were looking at shipping, and how it's cost, well, there's been a loss of $1.9 billion in revenue for shipping companies around the world because of a huge loss of the equivalent of 20-foot containers of shipping. Now, this is an article from the Financial Review sent to me by a viewer, and it's discussing builders and developers are struggling with supply shortages. In the past, we've also read pieces about where builders were starting to issue warnings to their clients of potential contract or construction delays due to supply shortages. Now, even if the shipping in China returns, and I will jump here and we can see this is from Marine Traffic. I've looked at this website this morning. Just all the shipping that's coming out of China, guys, heading to Australia. Even if it were to switch on to normal capacity right away, that would still mean there are some delays to shipping and products here in Australia, and we're going to feel the economic consequences of that. So let's have a look at this, guys. Builders and developers fearing costly delays with the disruption of building supplies coming from China due to the virus outbreak are already feeling the effects of one major delay: elevators. There you go. Well, elevators, here's the thing. I mean, you can get manufactured, they're made in Spain, but then the component to Spain coming from China. I mean, we're a global economy, guys. That's how it is. Even just a pencil. I don't even have a pencil here. Even just a pencil, if you look at how much, how global a simple pencil is these days. So Perth-based developer Gary Dempsey has poured concrete floors on 2 of the 9 planned levels of his luxury development, Siska in Fremantle, and says if there is a shortage of structural steel, it will slow his further progress on the project. Well, we could just buy local steel, but then again, a viewer was mentioning in the live chat the other day just how their suppliers, going to want steel that's starting to run out in Western Australia. But a shortage of the right lift parts is already pushing back the schedule. We're having delays getting light fittings that we've ordered from China because of the shutdown. But the big one that hit us is the lift delay, Mr. Dempsey said. The manufacturer, Schindler, told us that there will be several months delay due to the delay in getting parts that had to be fabricated out of China. Several months delay means extra expenses for us for just this one item. Now, lifts are something you usually order significantly in advance in a project because they take a long time. Now, I remember we did a job where we were looking at, and part of it was upgrading the lifts in a high-rise tower. We were going to replace the lifts with a new system that would regenerative modern lifts with a centrally managed system. And I remember going upstairs. Well, you know what? Actually, I will show you. I will show you that lift room. Okay, and we'll jump here to my PCA job, my other business, Point Clouds Australia, and I will show you that lift room. Here we go. You can see it right here. This is the lift motor room. Okay, you can see all of the lifts here, all the motors. Now, I remember walking around that room, having a look, and we can see if I can come up in the render animation. We'll just let it play. Oh, this is underground. We have point cloud scanning equipment that we use in all of our jobs, and I also hire out the equipment. So if you're in Brisbane, call pointcloudsaustralia.com.au. That's a plug. It's for my own business, so I'm allowed to plug it. But I remember walking up there and having a look at all the lift motors, the existing ones, and they were, okay, no, didn't include it there. They were manufactured, the old ones, because this building was one of the first, I think, pre-stressed concrete buildings, is the tower at the beginning of this animation. One of the first pre-stressed concrete buildings in Brisbane, and they were all manufactured in Newcastle, guys, these old lift motors, working for 40, 50 years in Newcastle. So, and where do you think the replacements are going to come from? There you go. All these lift companies in Australia, the reps, they couldn't really answer many technical questions. They were just sales guys. I thought it was quite interesting. So I'm not surprised the lifts are causing issues. Tightly scheduled construction projects are at the mercy of their supply chain, and delays can trigger delays worth up to $200,000 a day on the largest building sites. Elevators themselves, the result of long and complex supply chains, are also crucial to any large projects, as once installed they provide a key role in transporting goods and workers in and out of the site, and construction schedules factor in a functioning elevator. The elevator is a critical path item, says WT Partnership Australia Executive Director David Stewart. Any delay in installation of the lift has a knock-on effect to the rest of the building schedule. There is also no substituting lifts for another solution, like you could do with something like structural trusses and beams. You could go to another manufacturer, perhaps. Maybe a local Australian manufacturer that produces lifts. Although, to be honest, I wonder if the Australian guys that I know that manufacture it, if they can compete at the same capacity as the big boys with the same size. Delay costs vary by project, but they are substantial, Mr. Dempsey said. A month's delay would cost his company at least $200,000 extra. A Schindler spokeswoman declined to comment. Well, I mean, they're just importers of these lifts guys now over here. All elevator providers have been struggling. A spokesman for Kucoin Elevators said the company had been facing delays, but production in Kucoin's Kunshan city-based factory had resumed, and they were hopeful that supplies would normalize. There was a period in early February when we had a lot of delays. The factory was closed, the spokesman said. There was a period when there wasn't much moving. The factory resumed production on February 10 and was scaling up capacity, but challenges remain. So, reading between the lines, I would say they're not at full capacity. They're not at full capacity. What's their production like? What are the delays going to be? We've seen, perhaps this is aligning with the building approvals. You can see on the left the dwelling unit approvals, how they've just plunged by over 15% overall building approvals. And a big part of that was driven by the plunge in units as a seasonally adjusted figure for January. Perhaps development projects are being shelved or slowing down, or just people aren't going to that approval stage because they're worried about what's happening in the global market or even the local market. Why would you rush to build when you have all these potential headwinds to your project? The main challenge is transportation from our factory to port, and also the supply chain sending equipment to Australia is being challenged, with the government still restricting the movement of people and goods, he said. Thistlecrupp Elevators did not respond to a request for comment. Rebecca Kaysen, CEO of Master Builders Victoria, said the industry's group's members were already grappling with delays on a range of building materials, such as wood and high-performance glass, which largely comes from China. Pretty much everything comes from China these days in the construction industry. So this is where if we're having a targeted stimulus package by the government to help prop up the economy, it may be less effective due to our dependence on Chinese imports and exports. And, we just got to keep an eye on the shipping, guys. This shipping. Because if you have a look here at the OEC, the Observatory of Economic Complexity, and I'm repeatedly showing this, guys, because I want to make sure if this is the first time someone watches one of my videos and they're exposed to this, it's important for them. So just, bear with me. We can see here everything that we're importing, all the things that we're exporting, and, jump to the website and have a look at the difference in complexity of these items, and you'll know why Australia's got a primitive economy. China's taken 35% of our stuff, and we're taking a quarter of our imports are coming from China. We are tied to their economy. There's a reason why people are using the Australian dollar as a proxy for the Chinese economy. That can't be a good thing. Anyway, so Many of our members are understandably concerned that the effect of the virus may slow down the availability of materials, and this will impact the delivery of building construction projects, she said. But our members are very resourceful, and they've taken action to help soften the effect of the situation. They are looking at different supply chain markets like Europe and locally to ensure that they can still get product. Well, it could be a boon for local industry. It could be a boon. I mean, a viewer told me a cabinet maker, a local guy in Brisbane, was looking at opportunities to maybe start getting his product out there, shipping some of the stuff he made. So this could present an opportunity for local people to crack the market. We'll have to wait and see. What do you all think, guys? Do you think we're going to see, even if trade resumes straight away, will the economy just start bubbling up and picking up, that people will get their goods? Or you reckon there'll be a bit of a delay, and that'll be represented in the GDP figures for the next quarter and the next quarter? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Thank you all for watching. Please like, share and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan, there are a few ways you can help us. You can share the videos on social media with your friends, help the channel grow. You can support us by joining the channel on Patreon or here on YouTube for a small monthly fee. You can use our affiliate links with Amazon or eBay for your consumer purchases. You can also use our links for Independent Reserve and Kucoin for your crypto trading. We have merchandise from the HeiseSays website, pocket squares handmade in this very house. Find the link in the pinned comment below. And finally, PayPal if you want to support us that way. Take care, guys. Have a great day. And I will see you all in the next episode. Bye for now.